in the way. Dota 2, 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 Dota 2.
Hi guys, this is your favorite caster here, RMK, bringing to you the second of the semi-finals between RMK and TGB. This is going to be an interesting match. RMK and both these teams upsetting the pick of the event by unseating the champions Diet. TGB unseating them in the pool play, and RMK defeating them in the quarterfinals last week. So this should make for an interesting match, and both teams showed that they had the potential to take out a top team like Diet. So we should expect to see quite an aggressive game, quite a high action game, I believe. But a few plugins here just to start off with. I am Omega Kai. This is my Twitch channel, or this is my YouTube channel. I would very much like your support if you could throw it my way in terms of a like, in terms of a subscribe or a follow. Any of those things to sort of lend me your support would be much appreciated. Hey, and if you've got some games, particularly during the week, and you would like me to cover those, don't be afraid to send me a message or sort of add me on Steam. It is Omega Kai. I am more than welcome to, more than open, I should say, to casting those weekday games. Just throwing it out there. If you are looking for that extra element to your in-house team game or your game of friends, you want someone to come along and cast, I'm more than open to that. So hey, add me on Steam and I'd be more than willing to help you in there. Could do a quick plug in there for the international finals Pub Stomp. This is the very first event run by the company Gamers. It is a basically you're at a bar in the middle of Auckland drinking while watching Dota. It is at 6:30 p.m. on the 12th of August, at the Bluestone Room, which is at 9/11 Durham Lane in the middle of Auckland City. It's a fantastic place. They've run both StarCraft and League of Legends events there. So if you're in Auckland and you want to sort of share the experience that is the international with a number of other people, I highly suggest you go along to this event. It is going to be a top event. They have run many before very, very successfully, and so I'm looking forward to this. I'm going to jump into the game. I have no co-caster. I am flying solo today, so if you are watching this and you're interested in jumping on board for the next game, let me know, because I'm more than willing to have somebody else sit there on the sidelines and support me in casting. And also, I'm always open to helping new people get into the casting scene, particularly for Dota 2, because we just don't have enough casters.
Reserve time.
Looking at the early stages of the pick, the bans, I should say, and I talk about this quite a lot on my channel. We talk about Visage, we talk about Shadow Demon, and we talk about Jack being the three primary supports being picked up for tri-lane slots in the Oceanic scene. And we see here immediately, straight out of the Radiant team, that Visage ban off the cuff straight away with no hesitation. Meanwhile, TBG taking some time to decide what they're going to ban. Perhaps this is a DC captain. No, they were just taking some time to decide, and they've chosen not an unconventional, but for the first ban, they've chosen to ban at a Darkseer. Normally that slot, that first ban, we see a lot of Lifestealer, a lot of Batrider pickets bans immediately off the cuff, but we see a Darkseer, and we all know the power of Darkseer, how strong he is in that tri-lane, how powerful he can be with that push, with the double iron shells onto a melee lane. He can pick up a lot of CS, and he can play a lot of havoc. He can actually get kills if played aggressively enough, so you can't underestimate the power of the Darkseer, never, and no one does, and that's why we see often him being banned, normally in the second slot, but TBG not wanting to give away anything too much. They want to see what's going to come out of RMK. They want to see if they're going to ban out something. Well, basically, they're looking to, I think, from what I'm saying, they're looking to pick up something into the first slot that is normally banned out. Perhaps they're looking for Lifestealer, but I was going to say Lifestealer is being banned. As you can see there on your screens right now, Clan Remake or RMK. I'm not sure it's Claymira. In any case, RMK, that team that showed us a top form game last week against the reigning champions Diet, banning out that Lifestealer very early. That's a bit of a miscast.
5 seconds
Banning them at least
remaining.
early enough in the pool play, not wanting to risk
Reserve
TBG
time.
picking them up, and we do see that Batrider ban coming through. Was expecting to see that. I thought this might be one of those games where Batrider gets through, and we do see a Batrider play, but as in probably out of the 60 casts I've got in the Oceanic scene, only one game with Batrider. That's how much hate we have it for Batrider in the Oceanic scene. So I'm not surprised by that particular ban at all. But I am quite excited to see this Clockwork pick up. We see Clockwork doing all the work, beating the feet against Diet in two games in a row. They lost the first game, but they won the second and third game. Clockwork. Oh my, no, that's a miscast. Clockwork doing all the work, trapping heroes. Excellent execution. This is their go-to hero. So this is going to be a fantastic game. Clockwork's going to land those hook shots, and this is going to be a powerful game to cast. Meanwhile, TBG not mucking around, picking up an Outward Destroyer, Outward Devourer, I should say, and a Rubik immediately straight off the bat. And those guys who are new to my casts or this casting scene that I follow, the scene that I follow in particular cast, Outworld has come through the ranks in terms of tiers very suddenly, back to tier 1, back to being a primary played hero for the Oceanic scene, and we all know why. That Astral Imprisonment, his dominance through the mid lane position, but also potentially in the tri lane, where he's very strong, particularly through the mid to late game. Once he gets his abilities up, once he gets his levels on, he becomes a bit of a hard force to reckon with, and he ravages out those strength heroes and those agility heroes with his ult. So he's perfectly placed to take against his Clockwork. Clockwork is not going to have a high intel based pull, and he is going to suffer substantially. He's going to be trapped in the cogs, so he's going to know where to land that ult. So that is a great sort of, not say counter pick, but a great pick up there by TBG that will potentially shut down this Clockwork. And we see, for their second pick, that Rubik. Rubik being one of these heroes, I think the strategy is if you pick him early enough in the draft, he is a deterrent to the other team. In the way of them picking up teamfight heroes. You may not see an Enigma or a Tide. If we're thinking TI2, you might not see Enigma. You may not see a Tide because they may be slightly scared of how this Rubik is going to play, what abilities he's going to pick up. And so it does help you restrict your opponent's drafting, or at least if they do just draft as they would normally draft, they're drafting at a slight risk. They're going to have to take the risk that they're not going to be counter-initiated by Rubik, and so I think there's a very strong tactical pull in the second slot there for Rubik, given that he's not one of these top 3 supports that we often see. Meanwhile, on RMK, they immediately pick up that Weaver for the offlane. It must be an offlane. One of these heroes has to be offlane. One of them has to be in the tri lane. Potentially Clockwork mid, but I do see Weaver in the offlane. I do see Clockwork potentially mid, or vice versa. Or Weaver is part of the tri lane. So they've still got some options there. But definitely one of those heroes for the tri lane. We don't usually see these in the same team, particularly as a first and second drop. But hey, they've got a strategy in mind. They want to play to it, and we're now into the second set of bans. Warlock being banned out because of that strong play from TBG against Diet, where Rubik, where the Warlock just played dominance through their pull play, so they don't want to take the same risk. And also RMK being familiar with the games from through the Kiwi Challenge Series 2, Anti-Mage being left alone for 30 minutes. And 9 times out of 10 in most of the games we've followed, it does mean that the enemy team does get basically out carried, so they're not wanting to have that hard carry in the pool. This leaves only a few hard carries left here for TBG to pick up, and as I say that, they ban out, in my opinion, they ban out Jara, who could have potentially fit that hard carry role, but they do pick up the Alchemist, which is great to see. Alchemist are definitely another anti-mages. It only leaves Spectre left for that hard carry role. So Alchemist very strong. Is going to work well with Rubik in a tri lane. We may see a Lena or a Jack come out also to support that. Meanwhile, RMK giving away all their trumps now. I think they've definitely indicated that Dragonite is going to be in the middle, whether in the long lane potentially, or in the tri lane, and Clockwork or Clockwork in the long lane. So they know what their carries are or what their laning situation is going to be. So this means that TBG can look to pick up supports and then ban out supports that RMK may pick up for that tri lane. Jack's still in the pool, and this would be the time now that RMK could pick up a Jack, but I don't know if that's their style. I don't think they're going to pick up that hard support sort of hero. I think they're picking up heroes that synergize well. They have what am I talking about? What am I talking about? There's no synergy here, no effective all-out synergy. They need to add synergy to this team, so they'll be looking for heroes that are going to help this team to synergize. They've got some lockdown. They've got some escape and some evasion there in their makeup, so they'll be looking to sort of round that off with some more lockdown, and that's what I would be. That's what I would be doing as RMK right now.
Dire team banned.
Wow, and I'm absolutely perplexed here. RMK picking up three of the most dominating tri-lane heroes with Darkseer being out. This is going to leave very few tri-lane heroes for TBG. It looks like they may have to put Nyx into the solo lane, or potentially even run a Lich / Doom for the solo. What's another one we saw? We saw Slack recently, because most of them are in RMK's team, and they've got all this escape. RMK, they've got a really versatile team. They can actually, at this point in time, they haven't actually, as I said earlier before, they've given away a lot of their trump cards. Actually, they haven't. Now that they've picked up Windrunner, they can jostle around their team slightly to see how it fits in. And TBG looking to ban at that Nature's Prophet. In all honesty, I don't think that's what RMK would have picked up for this last slot. They're looking for a support. So is no, they're looking for TGB. Could also be looking for a support. So support should be the last bans, but no, we ban out a bounty. They don't want to see a bounty in that mix there. They feel that for a long lane hero, oh yeah, that's absolutely correct. Just missed out on that. Just realized that bounty is the last hero that's a tier 1 hero in the pool for that solo lane. So they're hoping that TBG will pick up a suboptimal hero for the solo lane or be forced into a dual lane scenario, and that's what RMK's drafting strategy, I think part of it is anyway. Here, pick up that Weaver, pick up that Clockwork, pick up that Run Runner. We know Darkseer is banned out. Let's ban out Bounty Hunter. That's going to give them very few heroes to pick from that are in that optimal solo lane position. And we see TBG picking up their Trent Protector. Yes, we do see a lot of play with him in the tri-lane, or sometimes in the tri-lane, sometimes in the solo lane. I don't think he is particularly the strongest pick in this particular lineup that he's going up against. I don't think he's a strong pick for an off lane, but he may not be. He may be into a tri-lane. They may put Outworld onto the solo lane and be looking to Trent, Nyx, Alchemist, or some kind of weird. Oh no, they can't. Nyx mid. I don't know. They've still got options open themselves, but at this stage, it looks like it's going all in the favor in terms of draft on paper. It's going all in the favor of RMK. If you were because they pick up Earthshaker. We don't see a lot of Earthshaker play. Totally missed that because I am not paying attention. And you can see there that Earthshaker pickup. That's going to be instrumental in this game. They've got 3 strength heroes. 3 strength heroes are going to mean that as they phase into that late game, they're going to have all this hitting power as well as staying power through the form of hit points and also this is basically hit points, damage, right-click damage from these guys. But Earthshaker with that Blink Dagger, everybody knows the power of that. They've got the setups there with Windrunner, with Dragon Knight, with Clockwork. So this is going to be an exciting game here, and I'm actually putting that RMK has definitely won this draft on paper. TBG, they have a strong draft, but they need to really make sure that this Alchemist gets that free farmer. Otherwise, they're going to be in a world of pain. Just a quick side note there, guys. If you are watching the stream of this and you do think that this is particularly good, hey, let your friends know that may not be watching this in game, or even if they are watching this in game, don't spam the game, but at least let people know that there is an alternative to the current in-game caster. Although the in-game caster is doing very, very well in organising this event, some alternative casting may pay off in terms of entertainment factor at least. Also going to do another plugin here. Hey guys, I am flying solo tonight, so if you do have somebody that is interested in casting, or they want to try their hand at casting, I do need a co-caster for the second game. Add me on Steam, send me a message, and I will give you some instructions on what to do so that you can cast with me into the second game of this. Because it's hard casting by yourself. You know, a lot of people think, yeah, I can cast by myself. You know, I've casted a 19 game 1-day event, and I can tell you now, I was absolutely destroyed by the end of it, because you just can't cast that many games on your own. That's basically 19 hours of casting potentially. So yeah, if you are looking to try your hand at casting, let me know, and yeah, just let me know, and I'll be happy to add you to Steam and add you to the game. Anyway, into the game. Enough about my rubbish. Let's have a quick look at those early game items. RMK not picking up early sentry wards, which I think is not a good sign. I do feel that you definitely need those early sentry wards for that counter warding, for the camp blockouts, and especially if you can counter ward early, it gives you that 6 minutes of extra dominance and vision. So I think that's maybe a slight error here for RMK not picking up those sentry wards. They do have a pick up a smoke, and that is going to be really, really good for the early rotation into the mid slot or into the side lanes for a good roaming gang. Meanwhile, TGB picking up the sentry wards there on Rubik, and I think you know, that's a strong, sound strategy. You know, Rubik, if you're not familiar, if you're not aware, there was a oh, there's someone doing a shout out. Man, thanks for the shout out, buddy. Thanks for the shout out in game. Shout out to Migakai at twitchtv.tv. Thanks so much for that. Oh wow, invisibility already being used on Windrunner. She's looking for somebody to kill. She's looking to at least block out this camp while she's invisible. She's gonna just body block it, which I think is very, very smart, because they'll be very, very confused as to what's going on. And as we saw earlier, they didn't pick up a... no, it's RMK. I'm confused as to which team is RMK. One of the teams didn't pick up Sentry Ward, so they have to use that Sentry Ward. No, there's a Weaver in there too. So look, they are looking to... The Sentry Ward goes down, they pick up the Weaver. They now see her, but it's going to be too late for them to be able to execute this invisibility rune. She throws out that shackle, shackling nobody, and that wall didn't really help anyway. So this is a bit of a fail situation, thanks to that great plant by the Rubik with the power of that Sentry Wards, and we see the effectiveness of early Sentry Warding. Unfortunately, this Windrunner not being able to take a great effect of the invisibility rune, and that's okay. Nobody died, but it would have been nice to at least drive out somebody from this tri lane. And let's have a look at those lanes. We can see there's a Windrunner, Earthshaker, and Weaver at this very unconventional tri lane for RMK. On the TBG side, though, they have this semi-conventional tri lane in the form of Alchemist, Rubik, and Nyx Assassin. I think this has got a lot of strong potential. It's got a lot of lockdown. So these guys, particularly this Earthshaker, need to be very, very careful, because he's the only one who doesn't have an escape. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, it is a DK versus OD. This is very, very bad news for the DK. OD is always very, very strong in the mid lane against the DK. I haven't seen a game where it's gone the other way. He's already been in prison twice. His mana pool has been depleted. He's not going to be regening very, very fast. There we go, another Astral Imprisonment. His mana pool is now 65, and he's going to basically be driven out of lane. He's not going to really be able to pick up as much CS as he would hope to pick up with his Dragon Flame, and he's just going to get right-clicked. And there's nothing that this Dragon Knight can do to sort of counteract that. You know, as soon as this Astral Imprisonment is up, he's going to use it straight away, and he's going to basically lock out his mana pool. So, you know, that's one up for TBG immediately. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, we've got Clockwork versus the Trent, and I think this is going to go in the favor of Clockwork. He's got the power of those cogs, the mini stuns, the flare, and the hook shot. This tree does have a heal, you know, and everybody knows the power of this heal, but that heal's going to be used on himself. It's not going to be used on remote teammates, and that's the problem when you put Tree into the side lane, in the solo lane. You do suffer slightly from... You do suffer slightly from... the fact that you can't utilize his healing ability as well as you would like to do it, because he's just under constant pressure, especially with the Clockwork there. So let's have a quick look at the CS and see if what I'm saying is converting into actual CS. Yep, we do see an OD here dominating the mid at 15/6 versus a DK with 9/1. This tri lane, actually, we'll go quick to Clockwork. Clockwork also dominating his lane with a 12/5 versus Trent's 7, measly little 7. Meanwhile, the tri lane versus tri lane, Earthshaker not doing so well on only 1 CS, given that he is probably a support Earthshaker, so we may not see a blink taker from him until the very, very late game. Weaver, however, he has picked up 14 CS. followed by nobody. It's a support one runner also in opposition. We've got an Alchemist there. Alchemist sitting comfortably on a 7 CS. That's about 10 if he's got Grevil's Greed, and he has got one level of Grevil's Greed. So it would be nice for him to pick it up, given that his counterpart, the Weaver, is picking up so much more. Rubik and obviously Nick's not picking up anything, but that's to be expected from supports. But you know, this early laning game phase going to RMK, this unconventional team doing well into picking up CS, particularly this Weaver, and this Alchemist just falling slightly behind. So let's see how that develops. I'm expecting hopefully that Alchemist to pick up a CS. OD just getting away. He's getting a lot of farm. He's putting a lot of harassment down onto this DK. DK is really being shut down. He's only got 10 CS. He has also been out-leveled. He's on, he's on 5 there, both yeah, just out-leveled. He's going for the bottom rune, which hopefully he does get. Yeah, he does get it. So yes, a minor win there for the DK. OD's not too worried about the rune. He's got a bottle anyway. He's just looking to maximize this potential free farm situation, given that this DK has wow, and I totally missed. Alchemist picking up our first blood there on the Weaver, thanks to that Sentry Rune and Impale, as well as a Telekinesis and a Fable from Rubik. I'm not sure what happened to the supports there. They look like they've rotated out to mid, and rotated out to mid to help out this DK. And as a result, TBG picking up on this and picking off that first kill on Weaver. So well done to TGB. Unfortunately, they don't pick up anyone just yet. They don't have a smoke, so they're not really looking to kill anyone. Although, do we have a hookshot there? We do have a hookshot. Can he land this hookshot onto the OD? That's going to be the question. And he lands the hookshot! That's an amazing hookshot! There goes up the cogs. He does a defensive... He does the defensive imprisonment, but it's not going to be enough. There's a stun there. There's the reactionary TPs. Odie's looking for an escape. He uses his ult before he goes down. Great. Oh, wow. Great rotation in from Nyx. They do pick off somebody. He does escape. OD just escapes by the skin of his teeth. Excellent reaction there from Nyx Assassin. TBG would be exceptionally happy with that particular pickup. They picked up, who did they kill off? They killed off Clockwork. So that is great, you know. As someone says, the difference that a TP makes, that is absolutely correct. And as you can see there was, you know, I thought OD was definitely done for, but you know, great rotation there, great reactions from both himself and the Nyx in order to pick up that kill of the Clockwork. Looks like they're trying to harass down this DK. DK finally getting enough mana to do something, but just a little too late. He is behind on CS. Meanwhile, Weaver, having rotated to the bottom now, take up the position that Clockwork once had. He's going to love this lane. Not only is he going to pick up a lot of CS, he's really going to be able to drive this Trent out much more effectively than this Clockwork. So he'll be able to quickly get ahead. Trying to make up that difference for that early death, I think, in this trail lane situation. But you know, no harassment going down onto Alchemist, and even though he's been left alone for quite a long time, he hasn't been able to make up this gap in CS. He's missing a lot of those last hits, so I think this is going slightly in the way of TBG. Well, it's definitely going the way of the TBG early game. Look, they're up 2 kills, they're leading the board in CS. Not leading the board all the way, you can see it's 39, but it's a big gap of green in there. Alchemist down slightly. So they do need that Alchemist to step up his game. And if he does step up the game, they will be clearly in the lead. But at this stage, it's still early game. We see a rotation into the side lane here, looking to pick up this Weaver. Weaver, all the manner of abilities being thrown onto him. Good rotation from Rubik, good rotation from Nyx. Coupled with a leech seed from Tree. That's a dead Weaver. Didn't even have time to use any of his escapes. And they pick up 0 for 3. Weaver just basically being hunted down and shut down whatever lane he happens to be in. And they didn't even, you know, I gotta add, they didn't even need a Sentry Ward in order to pick him off. You know, just that rotation and just those abilities were more than enough to shut down that Weaver. We do see a bit of a response here with Clockwork. He's looking to hook. He does. He lands an amazing hook shot. He throws up those cogs, but he gets picked up. His mini stuns, oh, he gets thrown out of the cogs, and his mini stun's not doing anything. Weaver looks like he's going to try and pick off this, and next he does, and he looks like he's also going to pick off, there's also going to be a pick off of Clockwork. Great comeback there from RMK. They managed to secure those kills. Thanks, 2 to 3. Even with the reactionary pickups and great use of abilities, not enough mana on the tree to use Leech Seed, and not enough mana to ult. So they did execute that at the right time. Landing that hook at the right time when they had no mana, perfect. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, this OD. He did it. He's not going to make. Oh, he is going to make the sub 50 CS mark, but in the first 10 minutes, and that's great to see. So he is going to be picking up a lot of items. Looks like he's going immediately for mech. Yeah, he's got the mech, and he'll probably be building into push stick very, very quickly. Another rotation here, Earthshaker now mid. They've realized that DK isn't doing so well in the mid, and DK did go top for a little bit to pick up some extra CS or potentially try and get a kill, but they didn't find anyone. I think RMK, even though they've got this much better. Oh, what did I say earlier? I can't even remember what I casted earlier. I think RMK do have on paper a better draft. But I just think they're not synergizing. There's no synergy there. OD had that middle slot. Good rotations from Nyx and Rubik, which has left RMK slightly on the back foot. They don't know how to respond here, and I think they're just grouping up into slots. Like in this mid situation here, we've got two supports kind of farming and hanging around the mid with DK to babysit him, and I don't think that's going to work in their favor. They need to move on as soon as possible and look for other kills, and they are, as I say, they're looking to go top. They're looking to join this Clockwork in the top with a Cogs initiation, particularly if they get this Alchemist. This will be great. They're all hanging back, looking for that kill. These three supports looking for something, and they should be able to find it. I think they will find it in the form of probably one of these supports. We see a bit of a TP coming into the bottom lane. It is Rubik. Rubik abandoning the top, looking to support the Trent in the bottom. I'm not sure if they're going to be very successful against the Weaver. They have got the detection down, but there's not much they can really do about it. Meanwhile, in the top lane, it's still three heroes pushing on top, so another TP in. Another TP in, good rotation again from Nyx and Rubik. They're looking for another easy kill. Weaver is aware though that there is some detection there. He calls for help, and in comes a Clockwork. So they may be repeating the scenario they did earlier, but unfortunately there is mana on this Trent Protector, so they have to be very, very careful. Additional support coming in the form of another hero, and it is going to be. Oh, we see the hook shot. Hook shot landing. There's a TP out at the same time. They will get Rubik if they keep pursuing. And they get... Oh, wait. Rubik gets just away. He's got a Trent heal, but he's trying to find a way through the trees. He can't seem to find if he can get away, and he gets picked off by an Earthshaker wall. Excellent rotation from GTB, RMK, and GTB, but unfortunately, RMK coming out on top. This Weaver Clockwork combo, we saw in the earlier pulp phases, in the earlier rounds, how RMK dominated their games with Clockwork. If you're going up against RMK, you should be looking to ban at their Clockwork in the early first two drops, because it's a staple. It's what they play, and I haven't seen them play just yet. I missed a bit of the pool play. I haven't seen them play just yet without a Clockwork. But every game where they played a Clockwork, we see this similar situation. Excellent hook landing, great use of the cogs, and good follow through from the rest of his team.
Like axe, the dire structures cannot be hurt.
Well, this is a pretty intense game. We can see graph-wise, while there's some favor in the favor of RMK, it's not by very much. They only need to pick up one or two heroes. This is the TBG. They probably just need to pick up one hero, and it's going to stabilize and be even. So they don't have to be careful. They don't have to be ultra cautious, but they need to work together. We see Earthshaker now being picked up. He is getting an amazing hook shot again from the Rubik. From the Clockwork, Rubik looking to pick up all manner of abilities. Those cogs shutting down a little bit, but the Clockwork, he needs to find a way to escape. He's looking for a way out, and he gets cornered by the good rotation from OD. But yet again, Unfortunately for Clockwork, I guess, they landed an amazing hook shot, but there was no follow through from the rest of his team. They were in the vicinity, but just no coordination there. Whereas TGB, while they were put into a very, very dangerous situation, they played it cool, played it calm, good rotation from OD, and they did manage to convert that into not one but two kills. Right, let's have a look at boot conversion. Boot conversion says that RMK is on track for their core items with only one runner falling behind, whereas TBG says that both Tree and Nyx are slightly behind, having not converted their boots into anything, and Rubik not picking up any boots at all just yet. So this is, in terms of how the items will scale into the game, RMK is going to have that slight advantage in the mid-game phase. They will have completed their core items earlier now that they've secured those early conversion of boots. So, you know, what does this mean? TGB need to lift their game, you know. It's now 5 for 5. It seems pretty even, but, you know, graphs say... No, I'm wrong. Graphs say it's all in TGB favor, but, you know, boot conversion tells me that it's not. In terms of the immediate potential for a team fight. We see a great rotation in here from both Nyx and OD. He throws it out, he gets one, they get an F, can they get another? There's an imprisonment and a rotation from Clockwork. There's a pickup, can they convert this? They do get it with the Fade Bolt combination, and that's 2 for none. There's a back off there. Great work. Excellent timing there with that ult from OD. The power of that OD, and they cog, and yet another hero. The Tree uses his ult, but Clockwork is going to go down to right clicks. Bit of a premature cogs there, as well as I should say grapple shot. Ectoplasm Slam being used. They're wanting to convert this and stable it up, but they only managed to get the 2 kills. Potentially 3. Weaver's going to dive. He's going to go for it. Yeah, he is. He goes for it, and there's an Earthshaker Slam, and they are going to convert this. They're diving hard. Rubik using the Jacuzzi as much as he can to get away, but he is being pursued by Weaver. He throws him up onto the trees. He uses the Jacuzzi to get away. He does manage to escape. Excellent conversion there from RMK in a situation where I thought they'd thrown it slightly. They show me that they have the skill to go to the next level. They know what's up, and they managed to convert that that offensive push from TBG back in their favor, which I think shows what sort of a team they are. For those of you watching on the stream, I am not currently in the channel because I have some technical difficulties. I will attempt to join the game at about the 25-minute mark, just so I can see any of the comments and questions that are normally asked by the watchers. So sorry if you've been sort of spamming away questions and I haven't yet been responding to your calls. It's just that I have some difficulties and I don't want to yet go to the channel to look for stuff when I know that it could potentially make my machine crash. And then he goes back into the game. I'm liking this unconventional pickup here of the Earthshaker. We don't see much Earthshaker play. I do think he's a very strong support, potentially a tier 2 support. You know, if we saw a bit more aggressive play from Earthshaker, I'd say tier 1. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Nyx being picked off by Weaver, and he uses the Jacuzzi to try and escape. There's no detection. He does try to TP out. They don't see him, and he does get away. Excellent duking there by the Weaver with that Rubik pickup. Unfortunately for TBG, no detection, and they don't manage to get him. But let's just double check. Did they have the detection? They just failed to use it. Let's have a look. No, they just didn't have any detection. Somebody saying in game that was actually the Trent's fault. He did body block his teammates from securing their kill. Hey, I didn't see that, but if that was the case, unfortunate again for TBG. But you know, if they'd had that detection, they would have probably secured that kill. They're looking now to push offensively into the mid with the help of Jacuzzi. There's a pickup there. There's going to be followed by a Nyx stun, but Windrunner gets him. Yeah, he gets you going. Great hook shot there from Clockwork. Look at all the abilities going down. Clockwork get killed by a combination of Earth Slam. I say Nick's being killed by a combination of Urslam, and wow, look at that OD ult. OD just doing so much damage, but it doesn't secure any kills. In fact, they all managed to get away. There's a bit of a cog block here. Excellently placed cogs by Clockwork. He flares them, and they don't get the kills. 1 for 1 in a scenario which I thought was going to go completely in TBG's favour, given that they'd taken so much damage with that ult. But hey, TBG may be able to still pick up a tower here. But no, they're going to contest this. Yet again, the cogs showing their power. Oh wait, no, great circle round by Alchemist. I'm miscasting all over the place, aren't I? And Shri. OD now in danger zone though. He's looking to escape. He's been bugged up, so he may die to the bug. If he doesn't just if he needs to keep running, he pops the mech. Alchemist has got a stun. He stuns himself. And it's a bloodbath. Everybody going there. I think everybody making a number of mistakes. Look at all the pursuit and kills. It's now going TGB turn, and they're now looking to convert this into a semi-team wipe. They don't have detection yet again. And then, as a result, Weaver gets away.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Axe wishes it was you instead.
No, they need that detection. They really need that detection if they were hoping to kill this Weaver or potentially any of the heroes that have Shadow Blades. You know, where's on the other team? They definitely have Dust. So. Come on, TGB. You need to pick up your game. You need to get more farm on this Alchemist. And let's have a look at CS, because we haven't talked about that just for a little while. Or net worth. Definitely, clearly, it is OD followed by Weaver. As you can see, the Alchemist sitting far on the table. And net worth wise, we can see that it's exactly the same. Dire having the upper hand on net worth quite substantially. And I think this is going to be bad, Even though this Alchemist isn't super farmed, OD is just a wrecking force to deal with, given they don't have any strong intel heroes on the Radiant team. So, his ult with that Argonums, they could be in a dire situation if he gets at that Arguments. He'll be able to just wreck them in any team fights, especially if it's set up well by the rest of his team, especially with the pickup, especially with the treat. Especially with the treat ult, the tree ult, there's not much they can really do about it with that OD, ult. So, wow, just an exciting game there. Lots of big plays, lots of turns and converts. And I'm sorry if the level of my casting is a little bit subpar today. I am slightly distracted, but hey, great plays there by both teams. But now TGB, I think they're on the slight advantage. And we see the early sentry was going down. They're looking to get this Weaver. They're going to throw the stun. No, there's just too many heroes. In fact, they look like they have to back out, otherwise be picked off. And they are going to be picked off. Ribbit going down with a great placement of the wall.
Top tower is under attack.
Great impale, but no follow through.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Yeah, no follow through. The impale was perfect. And unfortunately, no one's able to follow through. But that Earthshaker securing that kill from Rubik with that nicely placed wall, yet again showing how good of a player Team RMK is. Wow, immediate running with the dust. Great use of the dust. Excellent leech seed. See the power of that leech seed when he's surrounded by so many friendly targets. And he goes down to a stolen flare. And there's all manner of abilities. In fact, this looks like it may be a team wipe here for the Radiant team if they can pursue this, if they can push it. Wow, and everybody's sticking around. They want to kill this DK. They kill him. Wow, look how low he was on. He was on 10 hit points. He manages to escape. They pick up 3 kills. Great plays here from TBG. They're now just starting to get away from the enemy team. Yeah. XP wise, it's still close. Gold wise, they've got this lead thanks to the extra farm in the form of their carries, their Alchemist and OD. But I think just from their synergy, the way they're acting in these team fights, this Trent really needs to pick up his game. He's just not on par. Well, he did land some excellent abilities in the in that team fight. He's just, for the most part, he's not really adding his strength to the team in the way you normally expect the Trent to do. His heals aren't being influential. His leech seed is, apart from that last team fight, isn't really being landed on the right tack at the right time. And his ult. But that's okay. The rest of the team can carry him, so he's fine. And that's the only downside I can see for TBG. Whereas on the RMK's time, they've got a few issues here. They've got underfarmed heroes that could be. Whoa, wow, we see a great shutdown there with a tree. In fact, it's going to be a right click to death from the OD. Imprisoned the Windrunner. She's going to go down. Yeah, she gets totally taken out. Combination of Leech Seed and right clicks from OD. And this is a nail in the coffin. It is definitely a nail in the coffin. Good rotation from the entire Dire team. They're going to take this bottom tower and they're going to push it home to tier 2. Because you can see already, this OD, he's easily tanking the lane and he's blocking it. So this is going to be a tier 1 and a tier 2 push if I'm not mistaken. They're going to push this advantage now that they've got these 3 players down. In the case, in terms of RMK, they've got a lot of work to do. They've got these slightly underfarmed, great synergy. I do think their pickup is a lot better than the TGBs, just because I like unconventional drafts. What is it? I can't even remember what I said at the beginning in the draft phase, but or I do like this unconventional draft with all these escape abilities, with all this potential looked at, and I just love RMK's playstyle with the clockwork. So I'm really hoping that they're going to be able to pull this back, but they've got a lot of work to do. You know, I'm not seeing much engagement here from Windrunner with the great shackles that you expect to see. Yeah, these great shackles that I expect to see, they're coming out of Windrunner. You're not seeing those, so it's just unfortunate. Going to drop another note in there, guys. If you are looking to get into casting, now is the time, because I don't have a co-caster tonight, and as you can tell from my normal level of streaming, it is substandard because I'm not used to casting on my own.
Top tower is under attack.
So yeah, drop me a note if you want to cast, because I definitely need a co-caster.
Tower has fallen. Killing spree! Axes, please!
Wow, I totally missed that. We see great use of Vendetta and Mana Burn with the Unstable Concoction in the top lane. Nothing else being used, you know, no Impale being used as far as I can tell. Easy pick off of the Weaver. I'm not sure how they detected him, but they did, and it's unfortunate there for the Weaver. Let's have a look at those graphs just quickly. 4,000 just for DTV, 5,000 XP. That's bad. That's very bad for RMK. In fact, it looks like they're going to get this Earthshaker Wall. All these abilities being used defensively to try and hold back the team, including Cogs, because they don't want to suffer any more losses. And TBG sensing blood. Actually, they're going to push this down. Just the 3 of them. 4 of them with the rotation in from Nyx on the side lane, and Alchemist there. So they're now actually going to converge on this mid lane and just push this tower. They're feeling very confident, and they've got all the tier 1s. They're now looking to secure some tier 2s where they can at least, and I think they're going to do this. Look at this push. Weaver push on the side, where Alchemist push on the side, the rest of the team pushing in the middle. They're going to get one of these towers, and in fact I completely missed this. Trent picking up a kill with that Leech Seed and a combination of another ability from other heroes. They are going to take this tier 2 tower, and RMK are on the back foot. They've been pushed quite deep into their own base, and I don't know what you do. What do you do? If you were RMK, what would you do? You'd be on the back foot, and you'd be looking to probably play defensively, hug those towers, and wait for the opportunity where TBG make a mistake. But I don't think, you know, in the play we're seeing here, I don't think they're gonna see that mistake. And we see a reactionary TPs from the Radiant coming into the top. They catch Rubik off guard. They dust, but don't catch anyone. Oh no, they catch the Trent, but they don't see him, and he TPs out. So 2 TPs, yeah, 2 TPs for a kill. That's definitely worth it. But now, you know, if TBG would be smart, they'd be looking to immediately rotate into this bottom lane and push it, because they know that there can't be any TP reaction TPs in from the RMK. But it looks like they're looking to play safe. They don't want to give away their lead, and that's fine. You know, if I was in this particular game, I'd be looking to pick off as many heroes as I can with as minimal losses as possible. If I was RMK, and I think that's what their playstyle, what their playstyle they're planning towards playing is. I don't know if it fits with their natural playstyle, but you know, the way TBG is playing at the moment, I do think that they definitely have the upper hand. They have this great initiation in the form of the trio. Too bad he doesn't yet have a blink dagger. If he did have a blink dagger, this could be definitely a game for them. But their OD getting a lot of farm. Their Alchemist getting an okay amount of farm. He is being a slightly substandard Alchemist, but that's okay because all the you know, all the work that the ODs. Well, we're having a look at this. Wow, look at all that damage. Net worth wise, OD just 2.5k more than the Weaver, 3k, 3.5k more than the DK. You know, and this is not doing well. This is not going well at all. I don't think for RMK. They have a chance. They need to convert this next team fight into a solid victory. Otherwise, there'll be in a lot of problems. Because they need it. They need the next team fight. You know, definitely RMK need this next team fight. And if they lose this next team fight, I'm pretty sure this is going to be a tier 3 tower, potentially a Rax as well. So this is a crucial part of the time in the game where they can't afford to be out of position, can't afford to give away any kills because they know it could result in them when they're losing this first of the best of 3 game matches.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire structures are fortified.
Everyone just jostling around this tower, looking for position. They both want to catch the other team, and I see this excellently well placed sentry wards to pick up any dive from the next assassin. But I don't think this is what TBG are looking to do. I think they're feeling very confident. They're going to stick together, play as a team, play that 5-man Dota, and it looks like that's what they're doing. Alchemist like being forced stuff, soaking just through his bomb. In fact, the whole team comes through. There's a hookshot, but it misses. There's a BKB's going up. All manner of abilities going down. Walls going up. There's an immediate buyback here from Rubik. And look at all the abilities. Oh, the OD ult comes down. But it may not be enough. And it looks like RMK are going to defend this push. TBG fighting under the tower. They're looking for another kill. This is going badly for TBG. Excellent plays here by RMK. Picking off 2, 3 heroes for the price of 1. 4 heroes for the price of 1. And they do stabilize that hemorrhage. They do get that kill back to the way that kill ratio back into a safer bracket. And TBG being outplayed there, diving too hard, I think, when that Alchemist was force-stuffed, rather than just taking the tower and playing the safe game. And that's exactly what RMK were looking for. They were looking for that opportunity to where they made a mistake, and they immediately capitalized on it. And that's what they've been looking for the last 10 minutes, and they found it. So now they have a chance to sort of push and get some of their farm on, and put the graph back in their favor. Yeah, great. Mumbled on a little bit there, but I thought it was, you know, essentially what they managed to achieve. RMK was what they were looking for. They were playing that defensive. They hunkered up, they bunkered up, they turtled up. They were looking for that opportunity where TPG would overextend, push when they shouldn't have, and that's exactly what happened. That rather than letting that Alchemist just stun himself out, they decided to force stuff him through. They saw a stun, and then the whole team came diving in at the wrong time. But you know, just as I say that, we're now looking like it may be a very fun engagement. There's a smoke up there into the Rosh pit. The Radiant team, do they sense this? Do they know that this is what's going on? They definitely have a ward there, so they know something's going on. The power shot reveals that they're doing Rosh, and so the Radiant now looking to rush in and try and pick these guys off. There's a rocket flare. Yeah, they are going to go in, This could go very, very badly. There's the high ground here given to TGP. Are they going to convert this into a team wipe? No, there's an amazing hook in there, but it misses. No, it does get somebody. This Cogs. This is terrible for TBG. Amazing plays by RMK. They get a 4 for 1. They're going to pursue this. They're going to try and get a whole team wipe. As someone says, no focus here by TBG. And in fact, it is a complete team wipe. Excellent swing there. Massive comeback from RMK. And they're now going to capitalize on this by finishing off this rush. Yeah, finishing off this rush and possibly getting one or two towers. Great plays there by RMK. They played it perfectly. They waited for that opportunity to push forward, waited for that opportunity to wait for those, basically those mistakes, and they capitalized on it immediately. They had a game plan and they followed it through. And when they saw that rush being engaged and they saw the TBG flee there, they knew there was a chance for them to pursue and take it to them. And you know, on that high ground, in that tight position, in that narrow bottleneck there, where the high stairs, just around here, this is always a bad place to be for at least one team. And it's just the nature of it. Yeah, great plays here. Again, I'm on my own. You know, when I'm on my own, I normally fill this with the opinion of the more educated co-caster that I normally have with me. In this case, what would I do? You know, I have to think as as myself, as the semi-scrub player that I am. In TBG's situation, we had this massive lead in terms of farm and XP, and now we've just thrown it. Quite heavily thrown it, in fact. Those last two engagements going completely in the favor of RMK. They probably need to group up and start looking to focus. Oh, we see a great. Oh, look at that! He's got uses the blade mail on the Nyx. The Nyx actually gets down to a combination of abilities. Easy pick off there. Easy pick off. Great play there by Clockwork. Hooked in, immediately poked his Blade Fury, Blade Mail, sorry, and I got the kill, no problem. Nyx actually doing most of the damage to himself. Three now is going to push down the mid, going to capitalize on this lack of coordination from TBG. They sense blood. They feel that they've managed to get sufficient farm on their heroes. Let's look at these items. Well, I haven't done that for the last 15 minutes, so maybe it's a time to revisit these items. Having a quick look here. Oh, let's have a look in here while we wait. Looking at the items here, you can see that there's a Desolator pickup as well as a Lincoln Sphere on the Weaver. Those two items alone give this Weaver a lot of right click potential, and that's not what you want to see on a Weaver. You know, sometimes you see an MKB, sometimes you see a number of other items, but this is my opinion. Great pickup here for the Weaver, for the Radiant team. In terms of other items, they've got an AC on the DK. They've got a BKB there on the DK. They've got a Blink Dagger finally on that Earthshaker, and that's going to be basically the bane of them. Bane of any team engagement coming up. They've got the Blade Mail, and it looks like he's building into a BKB also for the Clockwork. And so item-wise, this is way in the favor of RMK. They got that early boot conversion, and you can see they've picked up all those items. TBG, they have some items in mode. They have some Shadow Blades, and they have some BKBs on their critical heroes. In fact, it looks like he's going for a Sheepstick or possibly a Shiver's Guard on Outworld. That may come a bit too late. They're now pressured. You know, the enemy are at the gates, and they need to have an answer here. But they just seem to be pulling back. They don't seem to be really engaging. They're looking for an opportunity, in the same way MKB is. And we see a great hook shot there. Number of abilities. OD ult going to come out right now. Look at that, and a tree followed by a tree ult. Right clicks going down. So many right clicks. And in fact, it's going all in the favor of RMK. They've picked off 3 heroes, losing no one. They lost just Weaver just now, but it's no good. No good. Weaver has the Aegis. This is the GG moment that we were looking for. Toy TBG basically being forced out, losing that 4 to none, and a buyback from OG, and there's nothing they can do. They're trying to get in, and they're trying to drive off this assault, but this siege is just too strong. They've taken the racks, and they've just retreated out because they didn't see the GG they were expecting to see, but TPG, they're way on the back foot now.
Dyer's bottom barracks are under attack.
Well, and yeah, Alchemist and OD once at the top of the table of net worth with this great substantial lead, now sit halfway down the table, or they've been dethroned, if you will, from their top tier positions by quite a lot. Look at this Weaver, went from being near the middle of the table to getting a 5-6k lead on net worth. Just all those kills going in the favor of Radiant. Excellent execution, excellent synergy. You know, that strong lineup that I talked about earlier that I liked so much, because I like unconventional lineups. And it's proving to be worth, you know, great execution, especially this Earthshaker, man. You saw those great placed walls that secured so many kills, and you can see in there the Exoplasma, was it Exoplasmic Slam or Eco Slam? Yeah, Eco Slam doing so well in those teamfight situations, coupled with Cogs and all the disables that they have on their team, and it means that all this great farm in ODF have managed to get in the early mid-game phase has gone out the window. They're now completely on the back foot, being single raxed in the bottom lane, even though they had this great start. And they need to just pull the thumbs out, and just really focus on killing these guys. And we see another kill here. This tree will go down to he will get caught out of position. He will go down. It's another nail in the coffin for TBG. They're retreating. They're going to have to retreat to this. And there's an amazing hook in there by the Clockwork. 4 stuffs out. Big pick up there. Was expecting a kill, but great use of the 4 stuff. You can see that the Rubik is just, Clockwork is just coming in, immediately using his cogs, and immediately using the blade mail, and that's all he needs to do. In most situations, all he needs to do, and it would have worked out perfectly. If OD was trapped, he would have right-clicked him with those orbs, which would have done more damage to OD than it would have done to him over time, and that's how he can kill him. So, but unfortunately, didn't do it. Meanwhile, they're now pushing on this top tier 3 tower. There is an answer here. TPG is mustering to defend this tower, but the Radiant, it looks like they're not gonna commit. In fact, they're gonna deward. Oh wow, so many misses on that ward. They're looking to deward and not push this just yet.
Dyer's bottom barracks are under attack.
Yeah. They're looking strongly to contest this if they can. You know, I haven't talked there. I've been a bit quiet. Yeah, this Dire team, they're looking to do the same thing the Radiant team did earlier in terms of hunker up, turtle up, look for an opportunity to capitalize on. But RMK having none of this, they're going to be split pushing all 3. In fact, they're hard pushing all 3 lanes. They've already got this bottom. So they're just going to split push these 2 top lanes and wait for an opening. And this is exactly what they want to do. Exactly going to work in their favor. There's not going to work in the favor of the Dire. Dire is going to be in this position where they have to constantly jump between the 2 lanes to defend. And when they're at one, RMK can dive in at the other. And that's what we're going to see. We're going to see a team fight very shortly that determines whether or not this is truly a GG here for the Dire team. Cool. And we see everyone, they're just jostling, biding their time, picking up farm where they can. RMK feeling very confident now, having swung the game so far in their favour from being so far behind. They didn't psychologically get down or anything. They didn't throw the game. They're playing very cool and calm and collective. Whereas the Dire, they've made some throws here. They're looking to smoke now though. Are they going to find what they're looking for in the smoke, or is this going to backfire? No, they're not going to find anyone. They're just sort of hovering around. They are going to find someone in this top lane. They see Windrunner. She runs away. She managed to duke this Nyx, who is trying to use that impale, and he gets hook shot. He cracks his blade mail. Is it enough? As well as a BKB, he can't throw his stun on it. He throws it on something. They find 2 kills. RMK looking to find a 3rd kill, a 4th kill. And probably this is GG right here. Yeah, this is clearly a team wipe. RMK playing very well. And GG given up immediately by TBG. Great plays here from RMK. Congratulations. The first of 3 won by them. And it looks like I will have a co-caster for the next game. Wow, what a strong game. And thanks guys for watching. I will be back shortly with